Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.
Hello and welcome to the Late Apex. Today we are going to be discussing the Project Motor Racing trailer. We're going to be discussing updates when it comes to Rennsport, also MOZA as well. And as the title of this video suggested, disappointing news when it comes to Rally fans. Or is it disappointing news? Certainly a change when it comes to EA and Codemasters stop developing their games, which they have been doing for the last couple of years. My name is Sam Fitzpatrick and also with me is David Sampson. We're here from the Apex Racing TV esports studio. How are you today, David?
Yeah, a little tired. I got backache. No, I'm good though. In general,
yeah,
I'm good. Yes.
Well, how did you get the backache? Just too much sim racing, or?
I am old. Yes.
Yeah. Or was that a dig at me? Sorry.
No. I seriously hurt my back.
The podcast.
No. It's clever, but I didn't think of it. No, I pulled my back on Monday. I'm not sure. I woke up and I realised I'm old and done.
Sure. Yeah.
It came quite apparent that what was wrong with me. It was age related.
Sure. Well, I would say I hope you get better, but there's no.
No, it's done. Yeah, it's downhill from now.
Yeah. So let's talk about. Let's talk about EA first, because it is the title of this video. And yeah, they're not going to be developing WRC games anymore. They got the license, I think, 3 years ago, and they released the WRC game. Not a yearly release, but DLC's coming.
Yeah, I think they had the license till 2027.
Yeah.
And we just assumed it would renew. Because, I mean, Codemasters EA have been going back all the way back to the Colin McRae games, right? That's how...
Yeah. They've done Dirt, they've done Colin McRae as well. They're the big ones.
Yeah. So this is a shame to see. What then again is it? Let's see. I mean, EA's not... I think there's a lot of love for Codemasters. I'm not sure what the public opinion still is on EA. You know, it's been a tumultuous time. We saw them split with FIFA. They had I think they did the Star Wars games for a while as well. So yeah, it's not been great for them. So we can bring up the quote actually. Well, I say quote, more like a statement. Yeah, here we go. EA Sports WRC Development Update. They just go on to mention how they picked it up. They basically absorbed the license back when they took over Codemasters. They've been pushing in. We don't know. This could be money related. Could be anything. They might just not understand how they can financially grow this anymore. Because yeah, they did move away from the yearly release title to a pure game with DLCs, and I'm not sure how the money stacks up for them. But yeah, they made a further statement. The one exciting from the WRC guys was this tweet. What a ride it's been. Over the past 3 years, WRC has been released to has been elevated to another level in the gaming world thanks to the dedication of EA and Codemasters. Now our WRC gaming franchise is going in an ambitious new direction with more news coming in the near future. Until that time, gaming fans can continue to experience the pinnacle of rallying on EA Sports WRC. So yeah, EA and WRC and every party is committed to, they'll keep these games working, but yeah, pausing all future development. It did just come out of the blue. Like, this was just a public announcement. Yeah, so we was not made aware of any of this. But what do you think? Do you think it's just from the financial side?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it just comes down to they've decided that they can't make much money from this, and so that's the decision that they have made. But of course, the games before Codemasters got the license was developed by Killerton, the French developer, which did many, many games. I think it was 10, and then they released Revolutions or something like that as the last game. So maybe they would go back to that developer. I don't know. Maybe that's not a very I'm not sure if that warrants the word exciting to say that they're going back to the developer from 4 years ago. But I'm not quite sure.
I added Le Mans Ultimate when I read this news, and with the question Rally Ultimate ?
Sure.
To see if they were interested, because they just got 2 million quid from the VR company.
Yeah. You got to spend it on something, right?
Just R-Factor 3, rally cars, online servers.
Yeah.
Dumb. Hello to Thomas chat, Tegan chat, and Thomas Harrison Lord.
I said earlier on, how's your day going?
Yeah.
And you talked about your back.
Yeah.
You didn't mention the other big thing today.
Yeah, well, I'm not getting any younger.
So you feel like your back was linked to the fact that it's your birthday today?
Correct. Well, my back was before. My back was curing during my birthday.
I mean, obviously so you're clinching over to what, your 29th year, is it? That's
with change.
Yeah.
29 and change.
Yeah. That's when the back issues come in, is it?
Yeah. It's not a good time. I might have to turn down my force feedback.
Whoa. Yeah.
I might have to.
You're going to downgrade to a 9 Newton meter.
No, I'll just turn it down.
Or
silly.
Yeah.
Also, I just realised I need to keep my hand still, otherwise you create thumbnails.
Yeah, I do always like the thumbnails each week.
I thought I sit still.
You should scrub through at some point.
No.
Like, it's absolutely rapid fire. Just, absolutely crazy stuff.
Thomas Harrison Lord in chat saying, I'm sad about the Codemasters news, as now it's seemingly every Cody's project has ended up, other than F1 remains. It is a shame. It does feel money related.
Yeah, and so there was something as well, I think Thomas may have mentioned it in the article he did for Traction on this, that EA have had staff reductions over recently, but whether that's linked to Codemasters or not is uncertain. They're a very big company, so it's a big assumption to say it is because of that. So yes, the Hard Chargers content pack will be the final expansion, and then that will be it. And yeah, they will just be down to F1 for Codemasters. That will be their thing. And to be fair, they make a lot of money from it. So
they need to nail that this year, because last year was
but they're still going to make money, right? I mean, they'll release rubbish. And
true, but EA might have been riding on that too long. Yeah, we're always making money. People are getting unhappy. We don't care, because at the shareholder meeting they just say, "How is things?" Yeah, we're making profits are up. And they're like, "Cool, keep it up."
Yeah.
And now I think, what was it? I think Star Wars and EA broke up. FIFA and EA have broken up. Now, I mean, WRC is probably not on their level, but those 73 people are going to be really disappointed. No, I'm joking. It is still big. It's just a different market.
Yeah. Let's next talk about Project Motor Racing.
Yes,
we have a trailer to show. I will show it. And yeah, of course, we've been discussing this game for quite a while now.
Feels like a very long time, yeah.
It must have been about 3 years ago that I think it first got announced by Ian Bell, who of course developed the GTR
Revival?
games and the
Project Cars 1 and 2 he was involved
Project Cars 1 and 2, GTR and GTR 2 as well.
Oh, GTR Revival, actually getting into it. This is what this was meant to be called, right?
Oh,
For
yeah,
the
yeah,
first
yeah,
half
yeah,
of its
yeah.
life, GTR Revival.
Mm.
But I much prefer the name Project Motor Racing.
Yeah.
Trailer time. It's a good trailer.
It is quite good, yeah. They have a voiceover that you will hear from
They ask,
Derek
why
Bell.
do you love this
Yep.
wild, crazy sport? Because
Very
life
good
makes
filming
a lot more
for it.
sense when
It's
you're out
really
there
good, yeah.
facing limits,
You got the stick, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
Collins.
on the edge, where racers like to play.
I'm actually excited for
The thing
this.
about messing
I'm
with
not
the
saying it's going to be a
limits,
massive success. I am
eventually
excited to
you're
try
gonna
it.
come
Sure.
unstuck. And then they'll ask,
I'm appreciating the level of polish
Now.
everything has so far.
now you go back
Yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah. No, it's
and
a
do
very
it all
cool
over
setup.
again.
I even joined their Discord today.
Many members?
The highs and the lows. they don't matter.
Seemed okay,
What
seemed
matters
busy.
is
People
getting out there, competing,
just excited.
racing.
Slight thing, I think we
This
may
is
have
get-
missed it, but you can
The
see
highs
this
and the
turning
lows,
input.
They don't matter.
That's a bit.
What matters is getting
Correct.
out there.
But you ain't a
180
sim
degrees
racer.
of lock.
Racing. Because it's not the
Yeah, I mean,
failures
I
that
get
matter,
AMS2 vibes.
it's the wins
um,
that define us.
But some content
In this
here
sport,
of
no one gets
GT3s,
the buy-in,
Yep.
see.
which obviously will be very popular.
Together, one lap at a time.
Obviously, a lot of
LMPs.
classic
Because
cars
legacy
as
is
well.
not an orphan.
And
It's
then
all
they
of us.
show a lot of emphasis on the Lamborghini.
Yeah,
Hypercar.
that's the title car. Now I've
Yeah.
realised. Now I've seen the Xbox cover, the PlayStation cover, and the PC. This is the title car, which makes sense. GTPs are all, or LMDHs are all the hype at the moment. Literally hypercars.
I was a bit concerned for 80% of that trailer where it's like, yep, we've got the cars from 2004, we've got a car from 2001, we've got a car from 1995. And then they actually show GT3s and hypercars. So credit to them for realizing that they've got to appeal to the larger markets and not just focusing on those smaller things, which has been my concern about the game for a little while.
Yeah, I was. I mean, I'll get into the handling in a second, but they're committing to consoles and they've listed the actual there's committing to consoles and there's listing the consoles you're going to be on. It's very different. Like just saying words, as in doing a teeny bit of research. I'm excited. They've listed their pricing, their DLC pricing model. Usually, we find out this. Usually, I mean, the retro for the past couple of years has been closed beta, and then they scale up to sort of a never release, and you never really find out. I mean, this has been quite a few games now. It's getting frustrating. The website's polished, the mission's polished. They mentioned GT3s, they mentioned multi-class, they showed off triples. They've mentioned every
VR
reviewer
as
VR.
well,
Yeah, VR and triples with good FPS out the box. That'll be a first.
Yeah.
It really will be.
So it's listed as coming out on the 30th of September on Target and Best Buy. $70 in the US for a physical release, $60
I think
for
the
digital.
specific date is almost a leak. Like they might have just put it on their website with a date and then they revoke it. Like
Potentially, yeah, because on Amazon, I think it's the 31st of December.
exactly,
which is
yeah.
like
It
a
might just be a
placeholder.
placeholder, yeah.
Yeah, but it's certainly the fall is
Mhm.
what they're aiming for. So yes, $60 for the release, basically. $90 for the version with all the DLCs, which get released over the course of the first year.
And I saw one DLC, the GTE pack, right? The GTE.
I wasn't sure. I didn't actually see what the DLCs were.
Well, I've only seen one listed, and yes, all the GTEs. So that's obviously how they're going to do it. They seem very class focused, and they mentioned this on their website. They're breaking things down into classes, especially with their legacy old. I think I read triple multi-class, or did I read triple, or did I just read multi-class is definitely on their agenda. Online racing, out of the box. I'm excited if this really does come out as a polished out of the box experience. My only reservation, so everything's good. I like the cars, the tracks, the amount of cars, the amount of tracks, the attention to detail, the online racing, everything seems good. The only thing I'm not loving is what you mentioned as well, the handling, especially say the rears and how they snap away looks a little strange to me. The entry mid-corner, again, reminds me a little bit of Project Cars, AMS sort of feel. And when they were asked about it, they said, oh, yeah, we're continuing to develop. But I'm just worried that that got into it.
Sure.
Like, you know, they've got the STIG there. They've gone through many iterations already. This isn't a rushed sim by any stretch. And I'm just a bit concerned about what I saw. But I haven't driven it. You know, there might just be bad drivers. And it is a brand new sim, and there's no setup, and your first time jumping in the car, are the tyres cold? Like, if you watched my outlap in any LMU car nowadays, it would look, you'd think, oh, I'm not buying this game.
Sure.
So maybe the tyres just start freezing cold. Like, there's questions I have. But yeah, the way the rear snapped and that mid-corner requirement for max steer looked a bit strange.
Sure. Welcome to Nick and Glenn, by the way, in chat. Yes, there are some details about potential tracks. So, according to on the Retail's website, we've got 72 meticulously recreated cars and 29 global tracks. So far, Street 4 Studios in their last blog post confirmed that Project Motor Racing will have 27 scanned layouts and 17 global tracks. So maybe that will increase. I think the only ones we know of at the moment are like Mosport and Lime Rock. Nordscott confirms. Kyalami as well was confirmed. We mentioned that a few weeks ago. So we will see about
visually.
that.
It looks really good though. Like considering the FPS you're getting on triples. I mean, they might have snuck some 5090s in there. Who knows? But visually, it looks AMS2y. Like I know that side of it is not an insight. I still think AMS2 is pound for pound the best looking sim. It's just not my favorite handling model. So I'm excited. But when do we say, like, it's not a crowded market, but it's the most crowded it's been in our history of sim racing, with LMU, AC Evo especially. I think AC Evo fumbling has helped. Maybe PMR has a...
Sure, and this is quite a bit different to... It feels very different to AC Evo, which sort of does feel like it's appealing to the absolute widest market possible, whereas this does seem a bit more motorsport nerds.
But let's not... AC Evo did make bank on that release. I mean, I think it's it had the largest concurrent user of sim racers ever.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a bit dead now, but it's a promising sign that people... It's a good sign that people at least are open to the idea of another sim.
Yeah.
So, but let's see. Obviously, LMU's gaining traction. Yeah, AC Evo, it's a massive brand. Kunos know how to sell sim racing. Just think it's going to be an interesting landscape in a year or so when we... I mean, doing news will be easy, right? We're going to have 9 sims to talk about. Yeah, any thoughts more on Project Motor Racing?
Not particularly, honestly. I think we'll see what other stuff is announced in terms of the tracks and the cars. And, yeah, watch this space for the fall. Because, yeah, I think the fact that it's coming to console, I think, is a really good thing.
Very good sign.
And the fact that they're actually committing that from the start is very good because, yeah, anything that comes out on PC first and then gets transferred over is an awful...
Correct. And I think that's why the Farm Simulator engine was the choice they went with. So, yeah. Yeah, watch this space.
You're going to need to talk about this one mainly. MOZA.
Yeah.
4.0 next gen 4.0 force feedback software.
Sorry, I put 4.0 twice. All right. Yeah, so usually, you know me, I won't put a software update in our notes. But MOZA have really surprised me because it felt like they were a hardware company and they were just banging out hardware in all of the price tiers. They were just fishing wide nets, what sells, let's just reach everyone and then we'll have a focus plan. This software is looking really good. I mean, let's just break some of this down. It supports 32 gaming titles, 220 points of telemetry. They've integrated Track Titan's AI coach, so you can get full "Why am I slow?" and get all your telemetry analysis from within the app. They've worked on thermal management, interpolation. I mean, they're working on all the high-level things that don't get talked about, but play a massive role in fidelity and how the force feedback comes across. Because we take a lot of most sim racers take for granted that it's the sim doing a lot of the work. And while that's true, the sim can pummel you with telemetry, how it feels in your hands and how responsive and the slew rates and everything is a lot decided by your base. And MOZA are relentless at the moment on their software improvements. And yeah, the fact not only are you getting full telemetry and now AI coach to show you, you know, what braking points you're late on early on, or you're early or late on the throttle, all from within your software. And they've kept improving. I was against this, but if they're going to work on it and keep working it, then hats off to them. You can completely administer your wheelbase from your phone. Now, it's a bit weird, but if you're in the sim mid-stint and you want to increase any of your force feedback, anything you want to do, just do a preset on your phone. I mean, maybe not for me, but future-proofing your devices like this can only be a winner. And I say they're building out baseline force feedback settings for 32 gaming titles and all the big ones, iRacing, LMU, Ace. They've listed AC Evo already. Like, it's impressive. I say I thought they were just spending a big budget, casting a wide net, grabbing sim racers, and then trying to see what they focus on. But at the moment, they're going all in. So, yeah, my hat's off to them.
Yes, yeah, we've got a few of the sort of title things that they mention here. So yeah, advanced cogging in order to make the delivery much smoother, intelligent thermal management, which is meant to help particularly the smaller models. So yeah, this of course applies to all their models, not just one or two.
Yeah, so if people are wondering about the cogging being a direct drive, like what are they talking about? Why not put cogs in? They're not talking about cogs. It's the magnetic arrangement and how you transfer essentially from the magnetic polarization of one to another. So a good algorithm means that you never fill the steps where, like, it's hard to explain, but yeah, having a clean signal is part software, not just all hardware. Sorry, carry on.
Force feedback interpolation as well, and force feedback decoupling as well. So do check out the MOZA website if you want a deep dive into all of that stuff. And yeah, there's plenty more built-in AI coach and mobile tuning, as you were mentioning before.
Yeah, it's all. Yeah, it shows a commitment way above what I was expecting. They actually have programmers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like real proper
They
programmers.
aren't just people in China making stuff.
Yeah. We've seen this time and time again where you get a Chinese motor, you get a house built around it and get that mass produced, and then you get the software built by some software developers, but they're not your software developers, and you only hired them for a month and they finish the app, and now that is the app, and then if anything breaks, they get in a team to fix it. MOZA seem to be doing the full SimmerCube route, right, where it's just like there is a team and they are working on improvements on the software side, and you don't see that a lot. I mean, look at Fanatec, right? They did all that. They had one version built a very, very many years ago. Now they seem to be changing. Like they actually want to develop their software forward. But yeah, this is I'm impressed.
Let's next talk about our favourite thing, Rennsport.
Yeah, this almost didn't make the cut. This was from their podcast, YouTube episode.
So what's it called? Radio Check. And yeah, so basically every couple of months they do like a 20-minute video about the updates. I sometimes do watch them. I wasn't particularly interested in this one because they'd sort of be talking about the console stuff mainly. But there was a few things that they mentioned. So one of the things that they were asked about straight away is, will all the different platforms match each other? Like, are we going to get PC releases and then 2 months later we're going to get the console? And it seems like actually everything's going to come out all at the same time. So all the platforms will be the same, which is going to be important when it comes to online racing if you've got cross-platform play.
Well, yeah, and one reason for that is not just on the company side, so a little bit behind the scenes. On PC, the Steam approval is minutes because the verification checks are very light. Xbox, especially PlayStation, it can take a very long time to get anything approved.
Sure.
It's same on iOS and Android. If you ever get your favorite app, or you have an Android tablet and an Apple phone or something, and you're wondering why Android gets it early, it's because Android's approval is just like, we trust you. Apple's take like 10 days just for a software approval. So yeah, so there might be some disparity there, but yeah, I liked this. Like in Rennsport, tough word. I liked what they were mentioning because I was very confused how there is no AI, like not even a version 0.1, and they're talking about console release. I don't know what they was expecting the console users to do, but yeah, they've mentioned AI. They've shown off an updated HUD, which we'll show off in a second, and they talk about the race engineer, which I assume is like the crew chief. So in the top left of the standings, they are pretending to show that some people are on a Xbox. I mean, they probably are. No, they're not. But yes, as you can see in the standings, you've got a Xbox logo and a PC logo. So yeah, I mean, it shows you who to dodge, right? Be careful of this remote user.
Sure. I'm not a fan of this FOV because only I would say about 12% of the screen is actually the track. But I guess you'll be able to see it anymore. There's a lot of stuff though on this.
Yeah, so that HUD that you're seeing, yeah, I agree.
Obviously, you're going to be able to customize it. I'm sure you don't have to have all of that up.
Well, you're meant to have your HUD covering your HUD. They have a HUD, and their HUD, like you mentioned, really far in front of them. I don't know why their POV is them sat, 10 foot in the back. They're sat in the back seat. Yeah, exactly. But I think maybe it was just meant to be a visual demonstration, but. Yeah, I mean, a few nice things. The track map looks nice. I like the sectors being built into the.
I just noticed they got Spa up there and they're racing on Jeddah. So
yeah, I assume this picture was made.
Yeah, it's definitely made. I think that very much confirms it. Although, what's in the mirror? So
oh yeah, the rearview mirror is another track.
That's the Alps circuit, but then the one in the bottom in the cockpit, that's Saudi again.
Yeah, so this was just made in Photoshop.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, they got the actual car image is all the same, and then yeah, everything else is just passed on.
Good spot with that.
There you go. Yep. I mean, if I was David Croft, I wouldn't have known what that track map was. I would have been like, it could have been Jeddah. I'm referencing a social media.
And they've mentioned driver swaps, but
yes, that's going to come out post console release, which is a bit concerning, and obviously all these things are going to come out on the platforms the same. So yeah,
if it's post the largest thing you're planning on your game's platform in its all-time history, then you haven't even started it. You're just saying yes.
Sure. Yeah.
Of course we will. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, have we got a release date on this? I feel like we've said it before what the release date is, but I think it's in the fall. Yeah, everything's always in the fall, and. So yeah, obviously it's not going to take 6 months to develop that. I know that there's other stages that they have to.
The only reason driver swaps isn't there, let's think about it. It's not the mechanics of the swapping of the driver. It's that who would do a driver swap in a 12-car race?
Sure.
What are you racing with 12 cars?
They got AI to make first. So yeah, they got a lot of stuff to do.
Yeah, 12-car grids doesn't really lend itself for a 6-hour race.
I mean, I did Gran Turismo 5, and you got all the races you have to win. The Mon and Nords, and that's 12 cars. Yeah. And you got the cars from like a 40-year time span. Some of them are GT, some of them are awful stuff. But I loved it as a 10-year-old. They're going to simplify their pricing model. So at the moment, they've got all the Game Pass stuff.
Simplify? I've never understood how you Rennsport.
How do you drive Nords? Pay for the game, pay £50 for the Legends pack.
I don't know.
No, it's not even a pack, is it? It's like a pass. It might be a pass. I'm not sure. But you have to pay a lot of money to get Nords. But then you get a fancy livery and a badge.
And a zooped up Porsche that's really fast and doesn't.
Yeah.
Really weird. Really weird.
Yeah, you get like an extra Porsche or something, don't you, with a unique even number. I feel like that's a thing. So
let's face it, they were planning on going full NFT until everyone anti-FT. Then they were like, yeah, we're not. Our pricing model is gonna it's gonna be something.
Half committed to it again. Yeah, like a year ago. I was like, I thought you'd you'd learned, but you hadn't. So yeah, that is Rennsport. Not yeah, we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah.
No, in terms of Apex Racing team, sorry, not really much going on over the past week or so. A lot of seasons have ended recently.
Yeah,
So-
no more PES, no more PEC GB. There was no race for eNASCAR.
No. So and there was no ESL R1
Oh,
last week either.
R1.
Yeah, well, I knew when I said it. R1. No R1 last week. No R1 this week. We're back in it next week. So tune in for that.
But it's happening, but we're not part of it. It's the, what is it, group 2 and 3 stages or something?
Yeah, something like that.
We're not in it, so it's not important.
Yeah, we're the third one. So maybe it's 2 and 4.
2 and 4.
1 and 2. Something like that. So hopefully they have a healthy and safe race. Yeah, there wasn't really anything else going on with Apex Racing Team. Not really main clips from Apex Racing TV either, I'm ever so sorry. But in terms of Apex Racing League, we do have ARA Porsche Cup starting tonight. 60-car grid. We've got the heat format coming back. Got a lot of fast Hungarian drivers.
Oh, there's a 10K, bunch of 9s.
Yeah.
Just so people are aware, if I was to enter this and not be talking about it, I would be in Pro-Am.
And we all know
If
how
I'd requested Pro,
great you are.
would I? Thank you. Yes. Would I have got accepted?
If so, the way I work it, if someone wants to be in a higher class, then go for it, because clearly you don't care enough about the prizes, and so everyone else in that division now has a better chance at winning the prizes. So good for them.
It's insane though that's how stacked this series is now. That I'd be Pro-Am.
So we do sometimes have this discussion with the drivers, and sort of the perception is that you got PESC at the top, then like the PEC GB and regional championships. And then this is like a bit below it. And obviously those regional championships for like the Americans, for example, they don't have a regional one. You got a Canadian one, you got a German one, you got a British one.
True.
But you don't have other parts of the world represented. And so yeah, it's got quite a reputation, and a reputation that we're going to try not to. I don't know what we could do on the broadcast which would ruin that reputation. But
No, we've got this. It's up to them. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's good that we can sell out the series most times, and it will be very good. But
So, yeah.
I am a bit concerned about those Hungarians just absolutely like going 5 wide at the start and just
There's a
saying,
lot of
well,
them.
we're just gonna win.
Yeah, there is a
Can't
lot of
pass
them.
us.
I don't know what the team name was, but yeah, I mean, they've got some stacked drivers. I'm excited for it tonight. Spa, and yeah, like Sam said, 60 cars split across Pro, Pro-Am, and AM, but the Pro is stacked. Like it's 6 point, I think the lowest is like 6.3 or something, 6.4.
And there's like 18 of them.
That's
It's not even so
insane.
that there's few. So yeah.
Insane. Stand and start, what could go wrong?
Yeah.
Sam's now thinking, wait, did I set stand? and
Oh,
start?
genuinely, I was thinking that, yeah, because it auto changes to rolling.
Yeah.
Start. So I might have to check that. Yeah, we'll see how it goes on. Do tune in for that. But that's pretty much everything that I had to say. There wasn't really anything else that I wanted to mention in terms of TV or team or academy or Apex Racing simulators. Do check them all out. There are links in the description below, particularly Apex Racing simulators. We've got a lot of equipment that you can buy if you're based in the UK. So do check that out.
Yeah. My closing thoughts is I'm pleased with how Project Motor Racing has handled the journey so far, what they've put out. Everything seems very polished and communicative, and we're not left guessing. They've told us cars, tracks, they've told us how many. The webpage is up right now for buying the Xbox and PlayStation and PC things with their logo. The cover's all done. So they just need to nail the game. Usually it's the other way around. Yeah. Usually, yeah. So I'm excited. Let's see. But yeah, it's got a long way to go to get to even say what Le Mans Ultimate's managed to pull off in this market. So yeah, I'm excited.
Awesome. Well, remember to tune in for Apex Racing Academy Porsche Cup later on. And of course, if you've only caught part of this, you can either listen back to it on here, or you can check it out on any podcast streaming platform and stream it from there. And of course, do please let anyone who you think would be interested in the podcast share it to them, and get us some extra viewers. But for now, from myself and from David, we'll say goodbye, and we'll see you back next week.